Hello, my friends. This is the first of what I hope will be a series of videos that I'm calling Lessons from My Dogs. I'm taking inspiration from a great Christian classic written by W. Philip Keller, the author of many books, but he wrote a book called Lessons from a Sheepdog, which talked about his experiences in gaining the trust of a sheepdog who had been abused. He compared it to our relationship with God. Today is lesson number 1, which is more of a devotional. I hope it's going to be about 5 minutes and just a short little thought that is based on an experience that I've had with one of my dogs from childhood till the 3 dogs that I have now. These dogs have been a special part of my life. And I often, as many of you know, think about my dogs and how that fits with our relationship with God. Today, I want to tell you about not my first dog, my second dog. And some might argue and say it was my dad's dog, but they can be wrong if they want to. My first dog was a dog named Charlie. Then Buck came into my life. Buck was a pit bulldog. We'll save all those questions about pit bulldogs for later, but to understand my relationship with Buck, you have to know I'm not a morning person, or at least I wasn't then. Now, as I've gotten old, I sleep a lot less than I used to back then, but in my home with my older siblings, one of the worst things that you could be asked to have to do was to wake Jeff up. Some of you have heard me tell this story before, but there were times when one of my sisters would try to wake me up and I didn't want to get up and I wasn't going to get up and I was stubborn and I stayed in the bed. There was one time when one sister pulled me off the bed and I just pulled the blanket down on top of me and went right back to sleep. That was typical. School days, weekends, it didn't matter. But you know, my mom figured out one day how to get me out of bed, how to wake me up in the morning and put me into a good mood. All she had to do was open the back door, the sliding glass door that went out into the backyard where Buck had spent the night. And Buck would come into the house and he would walk through the house. He would probably go through it pretty excitedly, but he would make a beeline for my bedroom. And the next thing I knew, whatever time it was that my mom had let Buck in, I would oftentimes be laying on my side and all of a sudden there is a dog right in my face. That tongue is right on my face. Now, I don't know about you, but we all have different ways that we prefer to wake up. But what could be better than to have that dog right there looking at you, licking your face, that tail wagging. He had a stub tail because it was a pit bulldog, but that tail wagging, such enthusiasm, so glad to see you. That kind of unbridled enthusiasm that says, this is a brand new day. I am so glad to be able to share this day with you. That would get me up and put me in the right kind of mood. But did you know that we have that same opportunity to wake up with just as much of that kind of love shining on our face when we wake up, no matter how we feel, no matter what's going on? We have a Heavenly Father who has created us and who has created the day that we are given and who gives us the opportunity to experience that day with Him. I'm reminded of Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22, that says, because of the Lord's faithful love, we do not perish, for His mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say, the Lord is my portion. Therefore, I will put my hope in Him. His mercies are new every morning. God has every day that we face under control. He has us in the palm of his hands, and he is there with us to walk with us and to guide us through each day. If your dog, I hope you have a dog. If you don't, you need one. But if your dog wakes you up in the morning earlier than you want to be woken up, just know that that ought to be a sign to us, a reminder to us of the God who is always there, looking out for us, looking over us, and loving us with a love that is far greater than we could ever imagine. Hope the rest of your week is great. God bless you.